is most inconvenient," Mrs. Savage growled. "I specifically indicated in a first memorandum that the move would take place during the school's summer holidays." But not exactly when," I commented. "I beg your pardon? You never gave an exact date when you required us to move." "I stated the date specifically in the second memorandum," said Mrs. Savage sharply. "I'm afraid your second memorandum must have arrived on our desks after Mr. Clamp had departed for Italy." "I think not," she snapped. "It is typical of Mr. Clamp to ignore my memoranda." She glanced at the only area of the room that was empty of everything apart from the cleared desk. "It's a pity that all the inspectors aren't as efficient and well-organised as Dr. Malarkey." "We can't all be as efficient and well-organised as the Inspector for Science and Technology," said David. "More's the pity." "Mrs. Savage," began David, brimming over with fury. "Don't worry, Mrs. Savage," I interrupted. "We'll move Mr. Clamp's things for him." "I sincerely hope so," she said, her mouth drawn together. "Is there anything else, Mrs. Savage?" asked David. "It's just that we are rather busy at the moment, moving into our new offices." Mrs. Savage gave him a look like the sweep of a scythe. "I shall be having words with Dr. Gore," she threatened. "Please do that, Mrs. Savage," said David. "In fact, perhaps he might like to give us a hand moving." The personal assistant of the Chief Education Officer departed angrily in a whiff of Chanel. "In all my years in education," said David, "I have never met such a pettifogging, infuriating and interfering person as Mrs. Savage." "She does have some abilities," I said. "She's the only ability that Virago is blessed with," said David, "is to appear very busy whilst avoiding work of any kind. I've a good mind—" David's diatribe was interrupted by the appearance at the door of Julie, the inspector's secretary. "Has she of the viper's tongue gone?" she asked in a hushed voice. "She has," I told her. "Oh, thank goodness," she sighed. "Mrs. Savage has that wonderful effect of brightening up the room by leaving it." "What does she want at 10:30 on a Friday morning?" "To see if we clear the office," I told her. "If meddlesome Brenda thinks I'm shifting Sydney's stuff downstairs," said David, "she's got another thing coming." "Don't worry," said Julie. "I'll sort it out." "We'll do it together, Julie," I said. "OK," she said, smiling. "Now, who's for a cup of coffee?" David picked up a large box full of files. "Thank you, Julie, but I'll make a start rehoming this little lot downstairs, and I suppose I shall have to help move Sydney's stuff, or I'll never hear the last of it." He shook his head. "Not that I wish to agree with Mrs. Savage, but it is a damned inconvenience for Sydney to be away just now. Typical, of course. That man could fall into steaming manure and emerge smelling of roses." "I'll put the kettle on," said Julie, laughing. If the man in the street were to describe what he imagined a school inspector's secretary might look like, I guess Julie could not have been more different. She wore ridiculously short skirts, outrageously high heels, and had thick, bubbly, dyed blonde hair. Heads turned whenever this young woman sashayed down the marbled corridors of County Hall. Everyone in the inspector's office loved Julie, and relied heavily upon her. She was funny, talkative, outspoken, and big-hearted. She was also industrious, highly organised, and entirely loyal. "So, how was your holiday?" I asked, as she arrived back with 2 steaming mugs. "Never again," she exclaimed. "Camping in France with my boyfriend and his mum and dad. I should know better. We were squashed in 2 leaking tents near a stagnant, mosquito-infested lake. The showers packed up. Paul's mum moaned about the food the entire time, and his dad got into an argument with the site manager when he told him that the French were pretty quick to surrender in the last war. And if it wasn't for the British Army bailing them out, he'd be wearing jackboots and speaking German." "Oh dear," I said. "Then Paul got food poisoning. The car broke down just as we were driving onto the ferry, and all the French lorry drivers hurled abuse at us. When we did finally manage to get across the channel, the customs men confiscated the extra bottles of duty-free that Paul's mother had hidden under a coat.